to the Blessed Podcast. I'm your host, Dr. Raquel Tolson, and this podcast is to help you to be blessed that transcends a mere hashtag. Now, I'm going to add my disclaimer like I always do. I'm not a preacher, prophet, or Bible scholar, but I am a God-loving, God-worshiping, Jesus-loving, Bible-believing, New Thought Christian who believes that God blesses us according to our faith and how we work his principles. So if you're ready to be enlightened, encouraged, and entertained, you're in the right place. I'm broadcasting on WYTV7 Christian Broadcasters Network, WYTV7. And they have the same mission as I do. They want to educate and encourage people. So if you would like to help us further our mission, then why not go and donate at www.wytv7.org. Every little bit helps, and it helps me to stay on and do what I do and help people know that they are blessed. This month is brought to you by Tolson's Publishing, and I just want to bring out our Ren's Bedtime Prayer. It is a great book. I'm so excited about it, and the second part is coming out in April, so be on the lookout for Ren's affirmations. We have to teach our children how to pray and how to affirm who they are. Okay, so our guest today is Chrissy Buds. I met Chrissy last week while we were at a conference, a Families and Fathers Conference here in Los Angeles. And this lady she has the most sunny disposition you will ever see. That's why I have on my yellow today, because she wore yellow all week or something with bright yellow, and she just has the sunniest disposition. She is considered a happiness coach, and all of us need some happiness in our lives. So I want you to welcome Chrissy Butts. Thank you, Chrissy.
Thanks, Raquel. It's great to be with you today. You look great in the yellow, and that book is fabulous. So for all of your listeners, get the book. I picked it up, and my grandchildren, we read it yesterday, and they loved it. They loved it.
You have to take a picture of them and send it to me on my Facebook.
I will do that.
That's so awesome. I love hearing that, because it's really important that, I think it also reminds parents and grandparents and aunts and uncles to actually tuck their children in and read a bedtime story, and
yes.
What's a better bedtime story than a bedtime prayer?
Definitely.
But let's talk about you. So before we get into all your wonderful stuff, tell everybody about Chrissy.
Okay. Well, first of all, I am a happiness coach, and I think everybody who's a Christian is qualified to be a happiness coach, because
Amen.
Jesus he is the way, the truth, and the life. And if our lives are filled with darkness and sadness at any point, he is the one that can bring us the greatest happiness. So I really want to just point it back to him. He is definitely, he's the one that can help us more than anybody else. And I would love to share just a little briefly. I've been married for 30 years. I have 5 children. We have 16 grandchildren. We live in Houston, Texas, and I have a
Wait a minute. Stop for a second. I just got to go back. You have 16 grandchildren, which means you have older children, and you do not look like you should have older children.
Thank you.
I'm like, what in the world? 16. So, okay, just how old is your oldest child?
Okay, we have a blended family. My husband had a beautiful 3-year-old when we met. And so she has a family, and then our other children are starting to have children as well. So then they're the best. Grandkids are the best.
Wow. That's pretty awesome. That's pretty awesome. Okay, so Chrissy, you have this wonderful book. You have your book with you?
I do.
Yes. Read it for us.
Okay. This is called You Choose Your Path. I'm just going to give you the cliff notes on it.
Okay.
So after a series of unfortunate events, Well, actually, I felt pretty blessed. I was raised in a small town, 200 people, 2,000 cows. And
Wow.
my husband and I had a small printing company, and we had a little shop on Main Street, and life was pretty good. I had got to have little, hang out with all my sisters. Grandma was in town, mom, lots of family. It was lots of fun. Well, something happens about age 40 to some men, and my husband got that wanderlust and wanted adventure, and so we ended up selling our company. We moved 3,000 miles to the land of the midnight sun. Oh, he was said he's
Alessa.
35, not 40. It happened early.
Oh, it happened. He's like, I think he was 35 and he got the wanderlust bug. Okay.
So we moved to Alaska, and we had sold our company and found ourselves just enjoying the gorgeous scenery and everything that's up there. And unfortunately, the buyers of our company defaulted on the payments. We were in a very small town, and so we had good, close relationships with our bankers who had lent us money for equipment and for, business growth. And so we don't believe in bankruptcy. We did not want to fall short on our contracts that we made with those bankers. So we decided what we'd have to do would be downsize to this small little rustic cabin with our 4 little boys, and we had no running water, and we had an outhouse. So we had to drill our own well, and we'd bring in buckets of ice cold water to heat on the stove to wash our dishes. Now, Raquel.
Wow.
We have the last name of Butts, so let me tell you a little joke. If you want to know how to keep your butts from sticking to a frozen outhouse seat, I'm going to give you a $1,000 tip. All you need is a pair of long socks. You slide them over the split on the seat, and voila. It will still be cold, but at least you will not stick.
Oh my gosh. Okay, keep telling your story, because this is good. This is good.
So, even though we had, it wasn't quite the ideal life for children in America. Even though we had a perfect view of the northern lights, we had a lake in our backyard, and there were plenty of frogs for 4 little boys to catch. We knew this, we had to get ahead. This wasn't the best situation. So we prayed and pondered what to do. And one day we were driving through Anchorage, and we saw this used black Cadillac limousine. And we said, you know what? We're not going to live in that cabin forever. We could turn it into a little bed and breakfast. People like those rustic Alaska experiences. We could rent out the cabin. We could take people on tours. So we bought the limo. We started ourselves an airport service. We established contracts with airlines, hotels, cruise ships, and corporate jet companies. In 2 years, we were able to move out of that little cabin back into a normal house. Now, I think it's really important. Be careful what you wish for, and always know your why. So we wish to be the best company in Alaska, the best limo company. Now, our why was not about just providing for the needs of our children, but it was a little bit about our ego. And that sometimes happens. But after 5 years and much hard work, Alaskan Splendor Limousine was awarded the National Midsize Operator of the Year. And with that, the phone rang 24/7, 365 days a year, and there was never a day off. And sometimes when life revolves all around your company, sometimes we drop the ball on the people that matter most. And so there wasn't as many trips to the park and blueberry picking and fishing. Some of those things had to be put on the wayside. And we couldn't drop the ball on the Sultan of Saudi Arabia or the vice president of China, and all these people that would come to Alaska. They had to be the top of the list, and our reputation was on the line. So anyway, as often what happens when you have a really stressful business and you don't have good work, life, family, balance, harmony, what often happens is one's gonna fall. And so at some point along the way, my husband started using that D word. And I had come from a blended family, and I knew that it was challenging, and we had a choice to make. And I said, you know what? No, no way. We've got to figure this out.
But she said,
So,
no.
no.
No on the divorce. Yeah.
So I knew that anybody could take my place, just running the company, but
Mhm.
nobody should take the place being the wife to my husband and the mother to my kids. So the buck stops here and you're stuck with me. And so what we had to do is, again, I got on my knees and I just prayed and prayed and prayed. And I said, if you can help salvage our family, I will go anywhere and I will do anything. But we're going to need some help being able to have, how to figure this out, how to get out of this chaotic lifestyle. And an ad, I ran across a little ad for a massage therapist. Now, back when I was 18, 19, I thought that'd be a kind of relaxing, pretty chill career. And so I said to my husband, hey, babe, what would you think if I became a massage therapist? And he said, go find a school. Now, what man wouldn't say go find a school? He's going to have fringe benefits for the rest of his life, right?
Right.
So I'm thinking a school in Anchorage, like a 30-minute commute. Oh, no, he's the best. He gets on, he Googles, he finds a school in Samara, Costa Rica.
Whoa.
And I said, oh, that's pretty fine and dandy, but don't tempt me because I am not leaving all of you to go there, no matter how amazing it looks. But what we ended up doing is for the benefit of our marriage and our family, what we did was we just sold the company. We sold actually at a loss. We sold it. We moved 6,000 miles to Costa Rica. I studied massage therapy. My kids were able to be put into, they were in like a homeschool partial program, and then they were able to go into the Spanish immersion in Costa Rica and learn the language. And my husband worked on getting his commercial pilot's license.
Wait, I have to stop you because this story went somewhere I didn't think it was going. I'm like, you guys, first he went to Alaska, which is like kind of crazy when you think about moving to Alaska, because especially you went to the part it was really cold, and then you dropped everything, sold everything, and you had a very successful company.
Very successful.
And then you went to Costa Rica. Okay, so did Costa Rica get your family back on track?
It did. It really did. Wow. It helped so much.
Wait. One other question. But you didn't have a company then. So the money situation, were you back to being like you were in a small cabin in Alaska, or was it better?
No, it was much, much better. It was much better. Yeah, we rented a good sized little place over there, and it was a couple blocks from the ocean. And
oh, nice.
Yeah,
nice.
There was so many great experiences. And we lived for 10 years with the phone always connected to the phone. Chauffeurs would call, travel agents would call, corporate jet companies would call. Mm-hmm. And so our sales closure rate was about 95% with our company. So I answered the phone while I was fishing, while I was weeding the flowers, while I was burning dinner, in the shower. And I don't know if I can tell you.
You know what? The way you did that, I think I can imagine, because I have a mind that's a little, look, you know how we Christians are. My mind could be a little secular. I'm going to put it that way, okay? So, yeah, I get it. But you know what? Let me go back to, because you said something, be careful what you wish for. This is Women's History Month, so I call it herstory. You made herstory with your husband. You guys created an awesome business, and that's what you wanted, but it didn't give you the satisfaction. It didn't give you it was successful, but not in the real way that we really need to be successful. And that's why it's important, like you said, to define your why. Because if you're doing it for your family, then you can't let your family fall by the wayside because of it. And I think that's a really good, important part to really stick out, because I want women that's out there who are entrepreneurs or want to be entrepreneurs and business owners to realize that there are more things important than money.
So true.
And fame, because I live out here in LA and people are trying to be famous or celebrities or whatever. It's more things that are important, especially if you have children or want children, have a spouse or want a spouse, there are things more important. So we have to really, when we're trying to figure out what kind of business we want or what kind of entrepreneur we want, we have to remember what's important and our why. You know what? Because I know we're gonna be cutting on close on time. So get to I want to talk about the sunshine strategy real quick.
Okay, so research has proven that our happiness is based on three things. The number of close personal relationships we have, the frequency of positive interactions within those relationships, and having some kind of purpose. So on a scale of 1 to 10, I would ask you, what is your happiness level? Let's say somebody is really struggling. Let's say we'll give them a number 2 right here. Okay. What would they like it to be? Hopefully everybody would like their happiness level to be a 10.
Yeah.
So the next thing is to identify your tribe. So we created 8 different sunbeams. For everybody, they're different, but I'm just going to share for me. For mine would be God. It could be spouse, partner, family, friends, neighbors, social groups, and clients, colleagues, or maybe causes that you're involved in, or activities, things that you're involved in the community, and even strangers. Now I want you to think for the last, because sometimes really sweet relationships can come just like meeting somebody in the grocery store, some of those simple little connections. So think last week on the number of positive interactions you've had with each of these people. And for every positive interaction you've had, maybe you went on a trip with your son, I know you, or you had lunch with a friend or a neighbor. And my mom lives in California. Maybe I called her, went to an activity and mixed and mingled with some of the people there, had some good connections with some clients or colleagues. Met a cool person. I wasn't too shy, and I spoke up and talked to a stranger at the store or a new person I saw at church. Our prayers, definitely good, positive, uplifting worship music can be different connections. So as you can see, the more positive, the more we connect, the brighter our sunshine becomes. But Raquel, you know that you can't get light from a dead flashlight battery. You have to recharge. So this visual assessment helps people see where they're stuck. So I'm going to ask some ways that you recharge during the week. And these are different for everybody as well. Some people might have a pet. They may enjoy gardening, family history, going for a run, watching the sunset, watching the sunrise, looking at the stars, anything. Those are types of recharging activities. And so the more of those you do on a weekly basis, the more recharge, and we have something to give back to other people.
Okay.
And the brighter your sunshine becomes. So if you know somebody that's like really, they're struggling, they're really, really struggling, we can ask them, all you need is a pencil and a piece of paper. Do this little assessment and you can see where you're stuck. Is it because you're not identifying with your tribe? Are you isolating? Are you living on social, like isolation media, where you really are not connecting in multisensory ways? Or is it that you're just, sometimes we wait for other people to reach out to us, and that's not healthy either.
No.
I believe all of us are royal birth, but none of us are so royal that we don't have a moral obligation to be kind and to reach out to other people. Because you know what? Your name, Raquel, your name is on somebody's sunshine. Everybody's name is on one of these sunbeams for somebody else. They are needed. They're loved. Every one of us is needed, loved, and people want to be acknowledged by you.
Wow. Let me tell you, Chrissy, I'm going to Dallas and my niece, we were in Dallas, and my goddaughter, we were at Target, and I probably talked to about 10 strangers, and not just said hello, because to me hello is nothing. I'm talking about having good conversation, because it was around Christmas time, right?
Okay.
And I had like conversations, and we were talking about, a grandmother was saying how her daughter-in-law didn't want her to buy a lot of stuff, and we were like, like, we gonna get it anyway. She can do whatever she wants to, but we grandma, whatever, right? And she was like, you talk to everybody. I said, I do. And then I said, because one thing, I don't know how often they get people have real good conversations with people. At the gas station, I can be pumping gas, and if I see an older man, you know, I'm gonna have a conversation. Usually, you know, it's just that's just who I am. So it's like it's really funny now when you say that. It's like I'm somebody's like I help brighten their day. You know, because they have more interaction with somebody. And you're right, I need to make sure I reach out to people more often when they pop in my head, I should reach out so I can make their day brighter. And this strategy is so awesome. Now, where can somebody find that strategy online?
They can go to my website, chrissybutts.com, CRISSYBUTTS.com, and you can download a free copy of the Sunshine Strategy. I also have the 21-Day Happiness Challenge, which is a companion guide that goes along with it. So they can download those from my website. Also, I have some YouTube videos, Chrissy Butts on YouTube, that show a little bit more of the Sunshine Strategy.
Now, look, I told you our time was coming, and we got 10 minutes. So talk about the Family Power Hour, because I think this is really cool, because families, you know, it's not enough for us to gain wisdom. We have to pass it down to our children. We have to teach our children. That's one of the things I put on most of my Instagram posts. Teach your children. # teach your children.
So true. Yes. So research shows that family team building education is beneficial in both the workplace and it is for families. And so this program it's a weekly 1-hour family team building program to help families engage, connect, and thrive.
The Family Power Hour. Yes,
it's pretty simple. So your family would just choose 1 hour every single week. We're going to commit to Monday nights at 7 or Sunday nights at 6 or whatever that is. Everybody in the family can roll the dice, and whatever number they roll, they can get one of these 6 activity cards. If there's only 3 in your family, then everybody gets 2 because there's 6 activity cards. So there is a score sheet if people want to keep score, directions, and the first activity is 5 minutes. And anybody, your 3-year-old can even do this. So what it is you have a family purpose statement, a song, and a prayer. The total amount of time for this activity is 5 minutes. If your family doesn't have a family purpose statement, there's an idea how to create one on the back. Mm-hmm. The next one, and let's say your 3-year-old has it. All she has to say is, "Welcome to our Family Power Hour." And she might say, "And I want to sing the Wheels on the Bus." And so everybody in the family gets to sing the Wheels on the Bus. But the beauty of this is that 7-year-old, let's say you got a 7-year-old, she's got a 7-year-old brother, and he is going to be in charge of the timer. And he can be watching the time and say, "Okay, time's up. We are not going to sing 12 or 15 verses of the Wheels on the Bus." So there's an end in sight. So there's a timer. Somebody gets to be in charge of that. The next is a family council. And there's a great outline how to have a good family council. This is really important for families. If there's a father in the family, I encourage him to be in charge of this. Moms are in charge of so many things. Just have a break. Let him take care of this. So this is 10 minutes, and there's great ideas of how to have a successful one on the back. The next is a sharing and a lesson time. It is 10 minutes. It's not, if a mom gets this, it is not a 30-minute lecture. It is a 10-minute lesson. And inside the workbook are some really simple lessons based on 12 different principles that can help defend and protect the family: kindness, forgiveness, working together, some of those basic lessons. The next one is often everybody's favorite. It's called the team building activity. It's 15 minutes. There are 12 different super fun team building activities on the back. And I always encourage parents, whatever the kid picks, if it's the bubblegum art or whatever it is, let them have that leadership, let them have ownership to be able to choose that activity, because they're going to shine so much better when they get to choose. The next one is just a teeny little 10-minute service project. And maybe, Raquel, you don't know the neighbor that's 2 doors down, and you say, "You know what? We have a stronger community the more we know about our neighbors. So I made this plate of cookies." And that 7-year-old brother still has the timer. He does not want to take this into a 1-hour go meet the neighbors event. So they're keeping track of the time. They run over and knock on the door, say, "Hey, we're the Smith family. We just wanted to introduce ourselves and bring you these cookies. And we live 2 doors down, and we hope we can connect, have a barbecue later." So that would be an example of one of 12 different service project ideas.
That is
And
awesome.
the very last one is called the treat and the table topics. This is another fun one for families. The total amount of time is only 10 minutes, but with this comes your child or whoever gets this can choose one of many recipe ideas or pick one. You can pick one, something that maybe it's just root beer floats or something simple and easy. So I also say, parents, let them have the opportunity, the leadership to be able to choose. So many different facets of learning can come through this activity as families have just multi-sensory activities. And then the last part of this, they're having a little treat together, and then they can have that person who gets this particular activity can choose one of these 100 questions, because it's so often our conversations are really superficial. We don't really go very deep. And so these questions can be, maybe describe the perfect birthday without spending any money. What would that look like to you?
That's a good one.
And so it just gets people to go think about what's inside here and get it outside of their mouth, because a lot of times we just don't go there.
I love it. You know what? And that's something I truly love that. And that's such a great idea, because family time is very important. It was, it was just me and my son, and you see how close we are. He's 25 and you see how close we are. But it was through things like that, sitting down to dinner, actually having conversations. We used to, on Saturday morning was our time where we had some jazz music playing. We cooked breakfast together and we ate and we talked about the week and the upcoming week. And every summer before school start, we would go on a vacation and we would sit usually on the beach, because we both love the beach, and discuss our, what we look forward to in the coming, school year and all that stuff. I mean, it's really important. And then just to play with your children.
Right.
I think we probably got closer because we used to go to the theme park all the time, because we lived in Orlando. So we used to go to Disney and Universal all the time. But parents need to not just talk, play with them, do crazy stuff, do stuff that they like to do. That is really awesome. That's how you bring the sunshine, Chrissy. I love it. And when you have that many kids, I'm sure you had to get really creative. So we appreciate you and your creativity, because I think you're going to bless a lot of families. And where can they get that? Is it on ChrissyButts.com also, or do you have another website?
No, they can go to ChrissyButts.com, and if they can't get it there, they can just message me and I'll make sure they can get it. So
that is awesome. How much is that game?
This is for the price of, the Family Power, for the price of going bowling or up to the movie one time. It's on sale for $49, and you can play it over and over and over. Every time you do it, it's totally different. So hours and hours of fun.
And you are right. For a family of 4, that is about, it is less than going to the movies.
Right.
Chrissy, we are out of town. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you for making her story and making sure families stay together and get happy, and making sure that, you are blessing other people, and you are you are doing God's work. And thank you for letting your light shine, because I was able to gravitate to you because your light really does shine. So thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Raquel. Ditto, and shine bright.
And for everybody that's out there listening, please make sure you go join the Tribe Called Blessed. Chrissy, please join us at Tribe Called Blessed, where you can share more of your stuff. And so you can maybe put links so people can go straight to it without having to Google it. Okay? All right. So everybody out there, remember, what God has done for others, He will do the same thing for you. If you want to be happy, make somebody else happy. Be blessed.